श्रीवासरंगपरकालं मित्रयाप्तलक्ष्मात्मरक्षणैतित्ययुगागमान्तम् आचार्यभक्तिपरिपूतमनर्गशीलं गोपालदेशिकमुनिं गुरुमाश्रयाः पराशरभट्टार्यः श्रीरङ्गेशपुरोहितः श्रीवत्साङ्गसुतः श्रीमान् श्रेयसे मेस्तु भूयसे. Sri Swami title always is well known, especially today, Ramanuja and Parasara Bhatta. When Adiyan tried to find out, there were actually very minimal interactions between Ramanuja and Parasara Bhatta. Even though Parasara Bhatta and Ramanuja were contemporaries, we know very well Kurattalvan, Parasara Bhatta's illustrious father, is a prime disciple of Ramanuja. And our acharyas, one of the prominent, most wonderful, divine Tejasvi was Parasara Bhatta. Because Parasara Bhatta is none other than the son of Srivatsanka Mishra, Kurattalvan, and junior contemporary of Ramanuja. So, and Parasara Bhatta's birth itself is phenomenal. We all very well know that Kurattalvan, who had dropped all riches, who had dropped everything, he was a multi-billionaire. He dropped everything and he came along with Andal to Srirangam empty-handed. And he joined Ramanuja's Sishyas. And Kurattalvan's Jnanam, Vairagyam, Anushtanam, Bhakti is in no way inferior to Ramanuja, if not even better. Kurattalvan is the one who facilitated and enabled Ramanuja to write Sri Bhashya. Such was the power and Jnanam of Kurattalvan. If Adiyan had been in Kurattalvan's shoes, I would have simply took a branch off and started a new sect and had thousands of disciples with me. So, Kurattalvan was an ardent, staunch disciple. He itta valakka, Ramanuja itta valakka, such a paratantriyam he had for Ramanuja. His Acharya Bhakti is amazing. He is the one who wrote this Yonityam Achyuta Padambuja Yukma Rukma Vyamogadastatitran Unayamene Asmad Gurur Bhagavatosya Dayaika Sindhoho Ramanujasya Sharanam Sharanam Prapatye. And he is the one who wrote Lakshmi Natha Samarambam Natayamana Madhyamam Asmad Acharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. That Kurattalvan used to have Unchavritti every day. And it was a Ekadasi. Next day was Shravana Dwadasi. The third day, because Ekadasi and Shravana Dwadasi was Paripurna Upavasa, Patni. Third day, it was heavily raining cats and dogs. So he could not go out for Unchavritti. So because he could not go out during the Upadana Kalam, he just had Katali Palam, the banana, as the prasadam. And he took that partook as the Bhagavat prasadam, took Perimal Tirtham. And he just lied down, tired, because of the third day consecutively being on fast. That time, there was a temple bell. There was an offering of prasadam to Ranganathan. And Kurattalvan's wife, Andal, for a moment, she lost her control. And she said, Vanga Bhaktan, இங்கே படுத்துருக்கா, அவனுக்கு சாப்பாடு கிடைக்கல, உமக்கு அங்கே பிரசாதம் நன்னா நடந்துருக்கு, and can you not take care of him? And immediately Perumal felt bad. He felt guilty. So he immediately ordered his priest, Uttama Nambi, to go and hand over the prasadam portion to Kurattalvan's Tirumaligi. So Uttama Nambi came and knocked the door. Kurattalvan was shell-shocked. How come Bhagavat Prasadam at my doorstep, and especially by the priest? So he prayed his pranamams and with respect he accepted the Bhagavat Prasadam. He looked at Andal whether she did anything. And Andal, of course, confided in him that she said this statement, uttered that statement in her mind. So Kurattalvan chided her, scolded her. However, he took happily that Bhagavat Prasadam 1/3 and he gave the 2/3 to Andal. It was definitely a Bhagavat Prasadam. At the 10th month, she had twins. And Ramanuja is the one who named the first child as Parasara and the second one as Vedavyasa Bhattar. There is also another school of thought that he is called the Sri Rama Bhattar. So, this Parasara Bhattar is the son born of Andal and Kurattalvan, but it was Ranganayagi and Ranganatha's son. As a child, Bhattar was extremely intelligent. He was very precocious by nature. It seems he was 4 years old when he was playing in the Chitravedi. And that time, there was one arrogant, haughty, one scholar by name Sarvajna Bhattar. And he was maybe not belonging to Vaishnavism, but someone else. He came on the palanquin in the corridors of Srirangam. So Sarvajna, his name itself is Sarvajna Bhattar, one who knows everything. And immediately Parasara Bhattar stopped him, the boy. You are called Sarvajna Bhattar, you know everything? So he smiled, of course, little boy. Okay, tell me how much is in my hand. He took a handful of sand in his palm and said, how much is there? You tell me. So he said, I cannot count this. So then why are you calling yourself Sarvajna? That you know everything. So he felt bad. He felt bad for being called himself as Sarvajna. And he smiled and said, I accept defeat. But you tell me how much is there. He said, very simple, one handful of sand, that's all. You should say one handful of sand. So that was the jnanam. And why all this vanity and pomp? And when you do not know this handful of dust. So that was the child is the father of the man. So Aindil Valayadada, Aimbadil Valayuma. So Bhattar learnt all Shastras from his father and the Adhyatma Shastras from Embar, the Bhagavad Vishayams from Embar. Because as the children said, Embar is his Acharyan. Embar is the one who uttered Dvayam when he brought the baby from the inside to show to Ramanuja. And Ramanuja was extremely happy and thrilled that there is a Dvaya fragrance from the baby. And the Guru Parampara record said that the happy life of this Bhattar, Parasara Bhattar, had also some incident, like we said, that the local king disobeyed Parasara Bhattar, so he had to leave because the hut of a great devotee was to be broken to build the rampart of Srirangam. So that king did not yield. So Bhattar thought it would be better to keep himself away from the king. So he left Srirangam. And the Ranganatha Stotra is a picture of anguish, the suffering, the viraha tapam of not being in Srirangam. And he says, at least may I be a dog in the street of Srirangam. After some time, Bhattar was brought back to Srirangam with joy that that particular person had already gone. And so he experiences the joy in Sriranga Stavam, which is more than 200 slokams. Such a wonderful Sriranga Stavam. So this Bhattar, when there was Veera Shikhamani Pallava Rayan, there was a king who came to Bhattar, Parasara Bhattar, and he said, Adiyan is performing Raja Karyam, so please advise something for me. He said, think of the shore, seashore, Kadarkarai Veliyai Ninaithirum. That was the advice given by Bhattar. So he said, why Kadarkarai Veli? Because it was Lord Sri Rama who, after the monkeys, the Hanuma, the Sugriva Maharaja said, the entire army of Sugriva crossed with the Setu Bandhanam. They crossed the ocean and reached Lanka. So they were across the shore and they were in the enemy's den, and it was already night, and all these Vanarams, everybody was tired and they were sleeping. And Rama, it seems, was wide awake along with Lakshmana, taking care of the entire army so that no harm would happen to them. Because the Rakshasas would come to know and they might even destroy the whole gang. So he was protecting them without them asking for it. So Kadarkare Veliyi Ninaithirum, Parasara Bhattar said, he is the one who is going to take care of us. He is Sarvarakshakan. There is no way he would let us down. Parasara Bhattar had an immense desire, bhakti for Lord Sri Ranganatha and for Sri Rama. He fell in love with Ramavataram and he fell in great love with Ranganatha. That is why he said, Thiruvaimazhi Ayiram Pasuramam is on our Namperumal. He says, Van Tigalum Sholai Madil Arangar Van Pugalmel Andra Tamil Maregal Ayiramum Indra Mudaltai Shadagopan Maimbal Valartha Idattai Ramanujan. Idatta is a foster mother, Ramanuja, whereas the actual mother is Nammalvar. So that was one interaction. And Emperumanar, once Bhattar was called by Emperumanar, and Bhattar went and prostrated to Emperumanar. And Emperumanar said, Chakravarti Thirumahan, இவர் பூதலத்தில் இருந்த படியை கடாட்சித்து அருள வேண்டும். Parasara Bhattar prostrated at Emperumanar and said, please bless me more about Ramanuja. So Emperumanar said, it was Krishna who said, Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. He asked Arjuna to surrender at his feet and he would absolve of all papams and grant moksha. Whereas Emperumanar says, whereas Rama did not say anyone. He said, Sakrideva Prapannaya Tavasmi Dicha Yachate Abhayam Sarvabhudebhyo Datam Yetat Vratam Mama. It is my Vratam. If somebody is just Mitra Bhavena Sampraptam, if somebody comes to me pretending to be a friend, I would take care of them. He says, Papananalam Sari, Shubhananalam Sari, Papanam Va, Shubhanam Va, Sarva Bhutam, I will take care. That is my Vratam. Inda Swabhavam Kandanukku illaye, Emperumanar said. So Bhattar was extremely thrilled to hear that from Emperumanar about Sri Ramachandra Murthy. And then there was an argument among Ramanuja's Sishyas immediately. One was talking about Krishna and the other one was talking about Rama. So Vedavyasa Bhattar, Parasara Bhattar's brother, he said, Chakravarti Thirumahan, he could not go as the messenger. He sent Hanuman as the messenger. So, but he saw Hanuman's success as the messenger, Dutan. He wanted to become messenger in the next avataram. And Krishna went as a messenger. But he failed as a messenger. He could not succeed. Thirumangai says, Munnor Dootu Vanarathin Vayil Madinda Arakkan Mannur Tannai Valiginal Valavuninde Avane Pinnor Dudanadi Mandarkahi Perinaltar Innar Dudanana Nindran Yavul Kedandane about Trivallur Pasuram. Innar Dutan, such as Sarveshwaran, Sarva Rakshakan, Sarvagyan, Sarva Pita, Sarva Loka Pita. He has got the entire universe and the whole everyone under his control. When such a Lord, he hanged a placard that I am the Dutan of Panchapandava and came and begged for 5 villages, 5 houses, 5 small places where you can drop a pin. And he still could not succeed. So, Innar Dudanane Nindran Yavul Kedandane. What a Saulabhyam and Shaushilya. Pattudayavarki Eliyavan. எத்திர முரலினோடு இணைந்திருந்து ஏங்கிய எளிவே என்ற ஆழ்வாரை 6 மாத காலம் மோகிப்பித்த சௌலபியமன்றோ கிருஷ்ணனுடையது. அருளாள பெருமாள் எம்பெருமானார் said, crying, Chakravarti Thirumagan, he brought everyone to his lokam. Anda Sharasarangal Vaikundatti ஏற்றியது. Whereas Krishna, what did he do? Krishna Kumarargal, Yadavargal, all of them, they could not go. So Krishnanum, he dropped his Trimeni and went off. So for those who pray to Krishna, is it the same end? There was a question. So Ramanuja said, Anganamandre, Krishnan also Shankanidhi, Padmanidhi Mudalana Nidhigalum, Sudharma Mudalana Shabaigalum, Parijatam Mudalana Sugandha Vastukkalum, Kuberan Mudalana Devataigalum, Matrumulla Vastukkalum Konde, Dwarakayil Vaitavargal Surghanubhavam Petranaro. So he took even Arjunan up to Sri Vaikuntham. And everyone was so blessed with Krishnanubhavam. And the Sarira Sambandham has gone with Sariram. Whereas Krishna Avataram is not like that. It was Atma Sambandham. It was Atma Anubhavam. So it was a union with Atma, Paramatma. The Gopikas, the Gopas, the Arjunan, everybody enjoyed being with Krishna as a Paramatma. The Acharya Sishya Sambandham, Moksha Pradam. And hence Krishna as Gita Acharyan gave such a upliftment of the Atmas in his Krishna Avatar. So like that they were talking about the Rama Avatar. So and then Ramanuja mentioned to our Parasara Bhattar, because Parasara Bhattar was happily reciting Trinadandantakam. Especially he wrote Vyakyanam on Maivanna Narunkunji, Irvarai Vandar. So he enjoyed so much of Trinadandantakam. But Emberumanar was so pleased. He said, use this Trinadandandaka Shastra and go and conquer the Vedanti in Melkotai. There was a greatest scholar there was a greatest scholar Advaitin in Melkotai, and he was having thousands of Shishyas. He was a staunch Advaitin. So Parasara Bhattar came to know of it, and he would not it's not very easy to break into his gang. So the Advaitin, he had many Sishyas. So you have to first have the Sadas with Sishyas. You have to win against them, and then you will be crossing so many gates to reach the main Advaitin. So what happened? Parasara Bhattar went there in rags with torn veshti, as if he was looking for Annadana. So when they said, where are you coming here? Annadanam is on the other side. He said he went on the other side and he broke into the Vedantis Sadas. So the Vedanti saw Parasara Bhattar and he said, Swami, Prasadam is being served in another place. He said, I came for other Bhiksha, Tarka Bhiksha. So he immediately came to know, because he had already heard of Parasara Bhattar. So he asked, Swami Parasara Bhattaro? He said, yes. So he immediately welcomed him, and there was a sadas between Parasara Bhattar and this Advaita Vedanti for 9 days. And on the 9th day, on night, Parasara Bhattar did not eat. He was praying to Perumal. He was praying to his Acharya's lotus feet, Ramanuja's lotus feet, and he prayed for their blessings, because he had to conquer and win over this Advaita Vedanti. Next day when he appeared in the Sadas, he immediately fell at Parasara Bhattar's feet and he accepted defeat. So this Vedantin later became Namjiyar, who is coming in our Acharya lineage. Such was the greatness of Parasara Bhattar. And Parasara Bhattar is the one, there is a school of thought that he attained Acharyan Trivadi at the age of 28 itself in Periya Perumal Sannadhi. So because of the Kaishika Dwadasi, he gave the Kaishika Puranam, and because of the Santosha Adishayam, Pattare Umakku Melai Veedu Tando, Ranganatha assured of Sri Vaikuntham. Bhattar said Mahaprasadam. He was so happy and he accepted that. And in Sri Rangam, Sri Vaishnava, everybody was very happily enjoying Nalamandam Illador Nadu Puhuvir என்ற ஆசீர்வதிக்க பட்டரும் அம்மா அடியேன் வேண்டுவதீரே ஆண்டாள். When she came to know, she blessed Bhattar, Nalamandam Illador Nadu Puhuvir. Buttar also was very happy because Amma also accepted this. And in Srirangam, Anjiraipul Tanipahan, when Trivengadamulayan பெரிய திருவடி மேல் எழுந்தருளி சேவை சாதிக்க பட்டர் ஆனந்த பரவசரானார். பிகாஸ் when பட்டர் திருநெடுந்தாண்டகம் அர்த்தம் he was giving, at that time when he was giving the பாசுரம் meaning, திருவேங்கடமுடையான் பெரிய திருவடி மேல் சேவை சாதித்தாராம். ஸோ பட்டர் செட், பறவையேறு பரம்பொருடா நீ என்னை கை கொண்ட பின் பிறவி என்னும் கடலும் பற்றி பெரும் பதமாகின்றதால் he recited this slokam, this பாசுரம் twice, and he folded his hands above his head, and he has sira kapalam வெடித்து திருநாட்டுக்கு எழுந்தருளினார். அடியே கவிதார்க்கிக சிம்மாய கல்யாண குணசாலினி ஸ்ரீமதே வெங்கடேஷாய வேதாந்த குரவே நமः. தன்யோஸ்மி.